Hey everyone, welcome, and we're ready to get started. How to start and grow a hyper-profitable rideshare business, even if you don't have any existing rideshare experience. I'm specifically going to show you today on the webinar the exact same steps I used to go from an unhappy used car salesman, just barely able to pay the bills, to being able to renovate my home and take a great vacation. My goal today is to teach you the fastest way to make more money as a rideshare driver, and you'll start making that additional monies today, day one. I'll show you how to increase your rideshare profits right now, even if you've never done rideshare before and without the fear of not being able to get results. So here's what you'll learn today. Secret 1. How to easily uncover where the money is in your market within just a few minutes. Secret 2. How to set up your car to protect your rating, increase your tips, and generate referral income. And Secret 3. How to cleverly manage your tax deductions to maximize your rideshare profits. And if you stay until the end, you will get a free ticket to this drawing for a Falcon Zero F360 dash cam. This is, I think retail value is about $200. So who this is for? 9-to-5 slaves, employees that feel like they're slaves to their master, their bosses, tired of making money for other people while working seemingly for pennies. This webinar is going to show you how to dump your soul-sucking job and more than pay your bills. Shiny object lovers, people who want to be entrepreneurs but just can't decide what path to take or how and when to start. This webinar will show you a business that will make you money. Struggling rideshare drivers. These are people who are already rideshare drivers but struggling to make any profit. This webinar will show you that nearly 90% of what you're doing is probably wrong and how to focus on the 10% that will actually make you a profit. And the average rideshare drivers that work way too hard. People making a small profit as rideshare drivers, but working themselves to the bone while missing out on the most important things in life. So house rules for today's webinar. Here's what this is not. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And this is not effortless earnings. There is no magic button. Effort and work is required, I'm afraid. There's nothing sneaky going on. No misleading methods are taught. We simply make money by helping other people. And there are no typical results. The results that you get are entirely up to you. So what is a rideshare business? Well, that's a great question. This is Don Draper, I think. So as you probably know, nearly anyone with a car and a valid driver's license can drive for Uber and Lyft, etc. This means that you can get started with your rideshare business literally in the next 10 minutes. Here's a fact. Fortune magazine recently published an article noting that Uber has more than 40 million monthly riders. I don't even know how many Lyft has. So the point is there are a ton of passengers looking for you to get them from point A to point B. There's a lot of business out there. And each one of those riders, like I said, simply want to get from A to B, and that's your job as a driver, right? Here's the bad news. Death of a traditional rideshare driver. If you view yourself as a driver for Uber or Lyft, and that your number one goal is to get them from A to B, you're right, but you probably won't last a year. That's what the data shows. Because you won't make enough profit after all the expenses are accounted for. So how do we change that? You change that with your mindset You are going to want to be a non-traditional driver, someone who is building a rideshare business. And we're going to show you how to do that. You are not simply a driver for Uber or Lyft. If that's your mindset, you're going to fail. So who's this Michael Kelly guy? Who am I, and why should you be listening to me? And that's a really good question. So I'm just a regular guy, nothing special. I started driving for Uber to make some additional money, and I was really focused on how do I maximize my efforts. So we're trading our time for money, right? So how do I maximize my efforts to maximize my profit? If you don't have any profit left at the end of the day or the month or the year, what's the point, right? So I became a student of this industry. I've read a ton of books. I've watched countless hours of webinars, YouTube videos. I read rideshare blogs. I've even paid for training courses. So I've absorbed a ton of information. And what happened was, honestly, I got a little bit confused. There's a lot of great information, there's a lot of mediocre information, and there's a lot of misleading information. And it was a little bit overwhelming. And so my focus was on where in the world do I get started? There's so many things to consider. And I tried to keep it simple. So you've heard the question, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. And so that's how I attacked this problem, this opportunity. I started to look at what the top drivers were doing in terms of their appearance. How did they dress? What did the vehicle look like inside and out? How was the vehicle equipped? What kinds of things did they have available for their passengers to have an impact on the passenger's experience, right? When during the week did they drive? And where specifically did they position themselves during that week to drive? And why? Why did they do that? So I really took a methodical approach at all these different bites of the elephant, so to speak. So pause just for a second and imagine what your life would be like if you had an extra $1,000 a month. I could use an extra $1,000 a month. If you had that money, what would you use it for? Just give that some thought. We'll come back to that. So secret number one, how to easily uncover where the money is in your marketplace within just a few minutes. So let's dive into this. But before I do, here's a fact. 74% of rideshare drivers earn less than their state's minimum wage. I'm going to read that again. 74% of drivers earn less than minimum wage. Can you imagine that? Who in their right mind would work a job that paid less than minimum wage? And how do you prevent this from happening to you? So here's one thing you can do. You can determine where the money is in your market by determining where your passengers are going to be in your market, because where the passengers are, that's the money, right? So there's this great website called Eventbrite. And in fact, let me just jump out of the presentation for a second. And I want to show you this website because it is super cool. So it's just eventbrite.com. I'm already logged in. And my marketplace is Omaha, Nebraska. But you might be in a different market. You could be in a smaller market. You could be in a larger market like, well, it says Chicago, so let's just do Chicago as an example. Pop in your market, your city name, hit search, and then you'll have an opportunity to kind of drill down into the events of your market. So top left, click on search for events, and it will give you a drop down with all the different categories of events happening in your marketplace. So yes, there's a little work involved, but once you map out your week, you are good to go. So I just clicked on business. For date range, I'm going to plan my week. That's the old saying, right? Plan your work and work your plan. So I'm going to look at the week, this coming week. I'm going to look at business events, And then I may want to drill down into conferences or conventions, those sorts of things. And then off to the right here, as you scroll through these events, this interactive map actually shows you what part of the market those events are going to be occurring. So you can kind of map out what's happening in your city based on the category of event, right? So maybe once you go through business, you may want to get into music, and you want to see, where are the concerts going to be? Are there any outdoor festivals? Here's a great tip. Outdoor festivals, if the weather changes and a thunderstorm rolls through, there is a ton of need for rideshare to get those people out of the weather, right? So keep that in mind for outdoor festivals. But the point is, you can go through all this information, map out your week. If you're just focused on the weekend, you can look at just weekend events and drill through all that activity for your market and set that up. That is awesome. So now you know where people are going to be and when they're going to be there, so that you can plan where you're going to be throughout the week. The next level of this is taking this information and marrying this up with your navigation system and creating some automation. And that's where the real magic is. So that's Eventbrite. I just want to show you a quick glimpse of that, how easy it is to use and how beneficial this information can be to you for when you're planning your week, right? Okay. We talked about the magic. The magic is take that info, marry it up with your navigation, and then you are good to go. Secret number 2, how to set up your car to protect your rating, increase your tips, and generate referral income. So how do you do that? We have come up with about 17 must-have items that you should have in your vehicle to do those 3 things. Protect your rating, close to 5 stars as you can get, increase your tips, and also look to generate referral income. So here's one of those 17 things. A charging cable that is a multiple adapter connector. So this is great for customers to obviously charge the phone, a headset, a camera, any kind of tablet that they might be using, even a laptop computer. These things are terrific. If you don't have one of these, you need to get one. I don't care if you buy this one, but something similar. It should typically have about a 3-foot cord for easy access to the back seat. And trust me, a business type passenger who's got a phone or a laptop running out of juice is going to love this. And this will help with their experience. It'll drive your rating and potentially lead to higher tips, etc. So another great thing to have you guys heard of Cargo? It's this a mini vending machine, so to speak, that you set up on the center console up front, and it holds a variety of different snack items. And this is cool stuff, man. They have an app on their phone. They swipe the item they want on their phone, and you get paid on the back end. Super slick, and it's a way to make additional monies on existing passengers that you're working with already, right? You're not doing anything extra. You're not putting in any extra time. You're just getting more dollars per passenger throughout the week, right? So Cargo suggests that their top drivers are earning an extra $300, up to $300 a month. So I'm assuming that those are full-time, and I'm a little bit skeptical. So what I did was, I have a rideshare Facebook group specifically focused on rideshare entrepreneurs, ambitious drivers and creative hustlers, right? It's a closed group, so it's not public. Everybody just can't get in. It's closed. And so what I wanted to do was get a reality check on those numbers. So I simply asked my group. I've got over 400 people in the group. And here's one response from Carolyn saying that she's averaging about $150 a month, which is awesome for, quote, doing nothing but handing out products. Super simple. Not rocket science, obviously. If you are capable of handing out products, would you be okay with an extra $150 a month, right? You don't need to drive any additional hours. You don't need to take any additional passengers. You just need to have this cargo snack kit available, and you'll make additional monies just like that. Very cool stuff. And then another item that we feel is a must-have is a dash cam. There are 2 or 3 really great ones out there. We kind of like the Falcon Zero, namely because it records front and back, which we think is important. We think it's important to have a record of what's going on with your passengers in the car if you should ever need that for some reason, right? You may have some unruly passengers, and you may need to have proof of their behavior, right? As well as there's some bullet points there of some additional benefits that come from having a dash cam. And this is the unit that if you stay till the end, we're going to have a drawing and give away one of these Falcon Zeros. Okay, we're going to move to secret 3. I know we're moving pretty quickly here. I did commit to wrapping this up in about 45 minutes, and I'm trying to stay on that time frame for you guys. Obviously, there's our other things we can talk about in terms of identifying where the business is in your market. We just don't have time to get to all that in 45 minutes. I covered 3 of the 17 must-have items. The other 14 are out there. I just want to honor my commitment to the 45 minutes, so we're just going to keep on trucking here. So secret 3, how to cleverly manage your tax deductions to maximize your rideshare profits. The key is profit, right? You got to have profit at the end of the year. It doesn't make sense. So number 1 is miles. Deducting your mileage is critical. Last I checked, it was 54 cents, I think, per mile. It changes a little bit from year to year. And these are miles that you're going to be counting while you're in search of a passenger, while you have a passenger in the car and you're on the move, and when you're returning home from having dropped off a passenger. So you start at, as you leave the driveway, if you're on your way to pick up a passenger. So I don't care how you track the mileage. There's no wrong answer as long as you track it. You could use an old school logbook like this. There are plenty of free and paid for apps that you can run on your smartphone. But at the end of the day, this is critical that you log your miles. Here's something else. Any paid for music apps or any other app for that matter that you are using exclusively for your rideshare business, and if that's the case, then those subscription costs are deductible. So the deduction should be limited to the percentage of the time that paid for app is used for the business. So for example, for music, Spotify is an easy example. It's $10 a month. So if you use Spotify exclusively for your rideshare business, then you can deduct the $10 a month, right? If you use it about half the time for your rideshare business, then you deduct about half of that, so $5 a month, right? And that applies to any paid app that you're using for your rideshare business. Does that make sense? So that's easy money to recoup. Food and drink. So this one's kind of interesting. You're going to want to be careful with this one. But essentially, the way the language reads is if you need a snack break because you are, quote, working more than a normal work day, that's the key. And for me, that would be 8 hours, right? You can deduct 50% of that meal. So let's say you are working a 10-hour day and you need a snack to keep yourself going. 50% of that meal can be deducted. Here's something else. A meal with a business associate, like another rideshare driver, to discuss work is also deductible at 50%. So if in your marketplace you have a handful of drivers that get together on a weekly basis or a monthly basis just to share war stories or to share what's working and what's not working, that meal, because it's with a business associate and related to work, is also deductible at 50%. How cool is that? So you can grab a double bacon cheeseburger and a half a gallon of Diet Coke, and that could be deducted by 50%. So, okay, so let's recap what we've covered so far. The three main secrets. Secret 1, how to easily uncover where the money is in your market within just a few minutes. Secret 2, how to set up your car to protect your rating, increase your tips, and generate referral income. And Secret 3, how to cleverly manage your tax deductions to maximize your rideshare profits. So at this point, you have a couple of options. I'm just pausing to take a sip of water, so excuse me. So 2 options. First option is you can go it alone and try to do it yourself without any help, and that's an option. Option 2 is you can get things right the first time by learning from someone that's already done it successfully, and you can have 24/7 help from hundreds of other rideshare drivers who are focused on the same things that you are. If you choose number 2, I obviously think that that's a smart decision. So introducing Essential Rideshare Strategies for Entrepreneurs to Maximize Profits. This is our training program. The information I've shared with you today has only scratched the surface. I guess that's obvious. It's barely a dent. And this training program is all about how to start and grow a hyper-profitable rideshare business today, immediately. So here's what the course covers. Here's what you'll learn. Module 1, Tools of the Trade. This is focused on you, your smartphone, and your vehicle. Navigation. Aside from marrying up where the money is going to be with your navigation tool, which obviously we'll focus on that as well, we will share with you how to avoid the #1 complaint by passengers. And third part of Module 1 are 5-star rating strategies, how to be a rock star in the view of your passenger. Module 2, passenger scenarios. So we've got, I think it's 7 or 8 common challenging scenarios with passengers that you want to be aware of ahead of time, what to watch for, and how to respond to these scenarios. Delivery, opportunities to diversify your income by earning additional monies through delivery of food or other items. And where and when to drive. So flipping on the app and hoping that you have a good day is a recipe for a disaster. Hope is not a strategy. We strongly recommend that you plan your week, you plan the work, and then you work your plan. Hope is not a strategy, guys. Module 3, surge and prime time. Newer drivers have a propensity to chase the surge, which is a bad idea. And what we will train you to do is how to anticipate where that surge is going to be so that you can take advantage of the additional income. Referrals. What to be listening for in conversations with your passengers that could lead to referral opportunities. This is another way to make money from your passengers. Business to customer. If you have another business, like maybe a resume business, or a house sitting business, or you're a fitness trainer, or a massage therapist, or whatever, can you imagine getting paid to market your business? We will show you how to subtly and professionally introduce your other business to your passengers. and business to business. So you've got passengers in your vehicle. Wouldn't it be great to promote other restaurants that they can go to for dinner, and you get paid by those same restaurants for driving business to them? Very cool stuff. We'll talk more about that. So let's talk about the format of the training. So you can study at your own pace. It's available on desktop or mobile. You have lifetime access to the training. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you have access to all future updates free of charge. Now let's talk about the most important component yet, and that's going to be you. You are the most important component. So what happens is, a lot of times people will join programs, they'll learn the steps, they'll hit one single bump in the road, no pun intended, and they'll give up. Why do you think that happens? Why do you suppose that is? I think, to be brutally honest, it's because of their environment. Their friends and family don't understand what they're trying to do, and they doubt them, and they're usually not very supportive. Success thrives in an environment of support and withers and dies in an environment without it. If you hang out with a group of underachievers, you are likely going to underachieve. You need to be in an environment of people who speak the same language as you and have the same mission as you. You need people who are going to lift you up and encourage you, not put you down. That's exactly why I created the Facebook group Uber, Lyft, Rideshare Entrepreneurs for ambitious drivers and creative hustlers. This is over 400 people now, all rideshare drivers, striving to do the same things that you are working to succeed at, and they are more than willing to help you. Here's a little glimpse into the group. So, like I said before, it's a closed group. It's not public. We have north of 400 members now, and these are some of the benefits of being allowed to be a part of this group. You can ask questions of group members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get a second opinion. You can get help with a problem or some issue that you're having with Uber or Lyft or with previous passengers, etc. You can grab an accountability partner. And last but not least, you can get emotional support when you're feeling frustrated. Here's a little glimpse into Insight. Excuse me. This is back when we had 398 members and growing. We're north of 400. So there are a lot of posts and comments that are going on, and it's a terrific benefit to you as a driver to have all these folks in the group supporting you. So here's a summary of everything that you get. Just taking a sip of water. So you're going to get 10 video training lessons, tools of the trade, navigation, 5-star rating strategies, passenger scenarios, delivery, where and when to drive, surge and prime time, referrals, business to customer, and business to business. Total value of $397, about $400. And if you stay to the end of the training, you'll get into the free drawing for the dash cam. So let me ask you a question. If all this did was give you 24-hour access to over 400 people that are ready to help you be successful, would it be worth it? I think it would. If all this did was show the exact steps that I took to go from unhappy used car salesman to being able to renovate my house and take a great vacation, would it be worth it? I think so. If all this did was help you make more money in less time, allowing you to focus on the most important things in your life, would it be worth it? Of course it would. So you can see why it's a good deal at $397. However, because you sat through this entire presentation, I know that you're serious. So I am going to make you a very special one-time offer. So I had two choices. I could make this training cheap so that everybody could have access, or I could charge a bit more so that I can provide better value. And I was thinking that you would probably want to go with better value. So that's what I did. You can get started today for only 2 payments of $97. $97 today and a second payment of $97 30 days from now. Or if you want to save $50, one payment today of $147. So click the button at the bottom of your screen and you can enroll today. Super easy. It takes you to another website page for the enrollment process. Quick and easy. So again, what you're going to get are the 10 video training lessons, tools of the trade, navigation, 5-star rating strategies, passenger scenarios, delivery, where and when to drive, surge and prime time, referrals, business to customer, and business to business. Total value of $397. You're probably wondering if there's a guarantee. Of course there's a guarantee. So I'm offering a 14-day money-back guarantee. You can test drive the program for a full 14 days. You can watch the content, participate in the group. You'll have unrestricted access. And if you're still skeptical, I want to offer you a 14-day money-back guarantee. You simply sign up. You complete all the modules, including the homework. And if you think it's still not for you, you can request a full refund. I don't care if it's 13 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now. You'll get a 100% refund. Again, simply sign up, complete all the modules, including the homework, and if you think it's not for you, 100% refund. I think that sounds fair, don't you? Excuse me. So, get started today for only $97 today, and then a second payment of $97 30 days from now. Or if you want to save $50, one payment today of $147. Again, just click the button below to enroll. It's quick and easy. So the first 5 people to take this offer right now will get 2 exclusive bonuses. Bonus number 1, Rideshare Auto Insurance Best Practices. I don't know why rideshare insurance seems to be so confusing to people, but what we've done is taken a deep dive into rideshare auto insurance. We've simplified things to make it super easy. It's like paint by numbers, and we are providing our best practices with respect to auto insurance. What it is, how you can get it, the risk that you run without it. And this is a $197 value. Bonus number 2, Advanced Rideshare Tax Strategies. So we gave you a taste earlier in the webinar on some of the tax strategies that you can leverage to reduce your taxes and increase your profits. So we take a deep dive into this and explain how taxes work, how as a driver you're different than a badged employee, what tax forms that you'll be needing, what to be looking for, what the expectations are. We give you all that language so that it makes sense, and we marry that up with tax deductions to allow for you to maximize your profit. I tell you what, if you follow our tax strategy program, you will save up to 27% on your taxes at the end of the year. Good stuff. And this is a $197 value. Bonus number 3, we're going to give you access to the Facebook group. It's a closed group. Some of these people have paid for the training already, just like you. and there are other people who are kind of grandfathered in to the group when it was first getting off the ground before the training was available. So you're going to have a mix of folks in this closed group. Uber, Lyft, rideshare entrepreneurs for ambitious drivers and creative hustlers. I don't know what the value is. I think it's a terrific value. I had a hard time putting a number to it, so I'm just going to call it priceless, and we're going to include that as an additional bonus. If you pay for the training course today, we'll give you access to the closed group. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the 10 video training lessons, tools of the trade, navigation, 5-star rating strategies, passenger scenarios, delivery, where and when to drive, surge in prime time, referrals, business to business, and business to business and business to customer. Total value of $397. Plus all the bonuses. The rideshare auto insurance best practices, $197 value. Bonus 2, advanced rideshare tax strategies, $197 value. And bonus 3, you'll have access to the Facebook group for rideshare entrepreneurs, which I think is priceless. Of course, I'm a little bit biased, of course. Total combined value of $791. Plus, if you stay to the end of the training, you'll have access to the free drawing for the dash cam. So, total combined value, $791. Today, you can get started for 2 payments of $97, or if you want to save $50, 1 payment of $147. Click the button below to enroll, and here it is, your opportunity for the free drawing for the Falcon F360 dash cam. So here's your free ticket. So simply click on the link at the top of the page here, ridesharesecrets.net, free drawing. And this will just take you to another web page, super quick and easy, where we'll ask for your name and email address. I know we've already got your name and email address. That's how you're able to get into the webinar. But this is our way of knowing who stayed to the end, and we'll collect those names and emails for the free drawing. We do one of these every month, so be sure to do that. You're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki and the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Some of you guys may have heard of this, where he talks about disposable income and the difference between poor people and how they spend their money and rich people and how they spend their money. So poor people are more inclined, according to Kiyosaki here, to spend their money on the kinds of things that don't have any return on their investment, no long-term benefit. So things like they'll buy a brand new car, which depreciates like a rock, or they'll go out for expensive dinners, which are a lot of fun, but they're short-lived. There's no long-term benefit. Where rich people will instead put their money into buying a house, real estate as an investment, or they may have some other investment vehicles, so to speak, where they put their money so they can get a return on their money. So the simple fact of the matter is that we all have disposable income, right? So all I'm asking you to do is to potentially forego a couple of nights out and use that money to pay for this training instead. It's a one-time cost to you of $147, but the training and the benefit that you get from that training is going to stay with you for a lifetime. At the end of the day, you can have money or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. So old habits die hard, right? So you could continue to do what you're doing today, and you will realize the same results. That's what old habits provide, right? Or you can choose to change, and you could purchase this training, learn how to make a profit as a rideshare driver, and you will absolutely see different results if you make a change today and move forward with the training. You have an opportunity here to build something really great. and that is your rideshare business. And it's not going to be easy. It's a tough thing to do. Here you got 5, 6 guys working on building something pretty cool here. Imagine if it was just one person. Could they get it done? They could. It'd be a lot tougher, take a lot longer. When you're building something great, you need help, and we are offering that help with the training program. So the essential rideshare strategies for entrepreneurs to maximize profits is 10 video training lessons, tools of the trade, navigation, 5-star rating strategies, passenger scenarios, delivery, where and when to drive, surge and prime time, referrals, business to customer, and business to business. A one-time payment of $147. Do you guys know the difference between time and money? So money is something that can be replenished, right? If you run out of money this week, you know that on payday you're going to get more money, right? The money replenishes. If you get fired, you can file for unemployment and the government's going to pay you, and the money replenishes. The point is that money replenishes. Time, however, does not. So imagine if you have an 8-year-old son or daughter who gets their first triple playing t-ball. Wouldn't you rather be there to share in the experience of that rather than be out driving? What we're offering you with the training is a way to work the same number of hours and make more money, or potentially work fewer hours and make the same amount of money, which frees up some time where you can focus more on the most important things in your life. So one last time, 10 video training lessons, tools of the trade, navigation, 5-star rating strategies, passenger scenarios, delivery, where and when to drive, surge and prime time, referrals, business to customer, business to business, one-time cost of $147, or 2 payments of $97. Okay, let's go through some common questions. So I'm just getting started. What if I've never done any rideshare driving before? That is perfectly fine. No worries. You're a clean slate. You haven't developed any bad habits, and you are a perfect candidate for this training program. So no worries. Absolutely. So I've already been driving rideshare for a while. Will I learn anything new? I'm confident that you will learn something new in the training. We have scoured the internet and gleaned everything we can from our efforts and put it into this training program. And I'm confident that you will absolutely learn something new in the training. Absolutely. How long until I start seeing improvement in my profits? Potentially, you could start seeing improvements in your profit on day 1. I don't see why not. Some of these things are things you can implement on day 1, and you'll see immediate improvements in tips generated or referral income. So day 1 is the potential here. How much time do I need to dedicate to the course each week? So everybody has a different situation, right, in terms of their discretionary time that they have available, right? So the training is available all the time. And so if you only have a couple of weeks to dedicate to the course, do that. I do have some students who will just binge on the training and go through it all in one sitting. In fact, they'll go through it 2 or 3 times in a row to try to hit the ground running. And if that's your situation, be my guest. Perfectly fine. And finally, just tell me, is this rideshare training right for me? Well, the fact that you're still on the webinar tells me that you're serious and that absolutely this rideshare training is going to be right for you. If you're willing to put in a little work and a little effort, it's going to pay off absolutely. So, 10 video training lessons, 1 through 10. Don't forget about all the bonuses. the auto insurance best practices, the tax strategies, and access to the Facebook group. A combined value of $791 that you could get today for one payment of $147. So I appreciate your kind attention. Click on the button below to enroll, and I will see you down the road.